Well, we're
Right.
glad you're here.
Now back to Margaret.
Okay, so this, with all respect to the library situation, initially, my mother was a reference outreach children's librarian for 16 years and previously in Elkins Park, Pennsylvania for 20 years. And this isn't, I just, with the budget for any library, most of it, a huge portion of it is materials and the circulation of the materials, which if anybody here take a look at materials, is exorbitant. And if you're going to Amazon, if you're buying an electronic book, it's almost as expensive as having the hardcover, which is necessary for record. That aside, I'm very, very grateful that you've made the decision to keep the library open. What I came here today to say also was, I'm from the Spay, neuter, Save network. We're a nonprofit animal veterinary hospital that does urgent care at affordable costs or what you can. And you have all supported me since the beginning. I came to you in 2021. I believe it was the first time in March of 2021. And you were all very supportive of what I was trying to do. Since then, we've established we finally established a semi-permanent location over in Rome. And today we just received the donation. It's complete, the building on 220 that I come to you about tax exemptions and asking for advice and your support. So I wanted to say we're on the way to being established at 2 locations and a teaching location in Bradford County. And thank you for all of that.
No, thank you.
Maybe you could speak how big a problem this feral cat is.
We can talk about that another time. I didn't get on an agenda for another meeting because Paula Heath has been working with us and she's currently the only sworn in humane officer in the county, and we do all of her medical evaluations for cruelty cases. So we can certainly we've talked to you about feral cats. If there's other issues, we can approach it. I have a plan working with several townships started, and we can do that in the future.
I wish you would, because they've been dropping them off by my house. And, it's awful hard to not feed. For the record, I'm a dog guy, but so if you could come back at another time, because how to deal with them. So.
Well, I can talk to you about that. We have 3 meetings with foundations, but we need local support as well. Complicated process, but we just hired someone to do that, to start working on that. So we can come back at a future time, probably at end of January or.
That would be great, just to highlight this.
Yeah, because the press does a great job of reporting when you folks come in here. And I know there's probably a lot of people out there that are thinking, what do I do with this cat? Because I don't want it to.
It's a huge problem, and we're trying to work a way so that there's a very small copay, and that the county, the state, and the local townships, as well as independent private foundations, can all put kind of like Stone Soup a little bit together to create a whole. This could also actually be applied to you can't really talk with you about that later. But that's something I've worked for years. I've worked in nonprofit sector probably since I was in the arts, museums, libraries, not as much as my mother would like me to, but a lot of work in animal rescue. And we try to make it something that people can.
Is fundraising going to be a part of your?
We're actually, that's a little bit of a touchy situation, because they originally made a promise that we're not going to we're trying not to do local fundraising, because we don't want to affect the dozens and dozens and dozens of nonprofits that already work within this area. So we do not fundraise with local businesses or residents. If they choose to, that's great. We have Spay It Forward programs. We have directed donation opportunities to help copay for businesses and people alike. We have really low rates. We're about 25% of a private practice. So we're not trying to put private practice out of business. We don't do wellness clinics. We don't do any of that. We do urgent care. So, for example, Spay neuter is the foundation of what we do, but I didn't expect.
Well, if you could come back to.
All I need to say is
To highlight what you're doing.
it's mostly things like if you have a critical situation with a pet, and also with feral animals, and occasionally we have feral dogs. So, which involves a guard gun, because they're a lot more difficult to trap and handle. But anyway, like as a simple example, if it's a person on a limited income, and we don't do means testing, but has a beloved pet, that might be the only bond that they have, that they share. If they had to have a full dental extraction or a bladder stone surgery or something like that, it runs into the thousands of dollars. We stay in the hundreds, like in the low hundreds, and we have excellent surgeons, and we work with Cornell. And it's taken a long time to develop, but the point of what I wanted to say is not that. I really just wanted to say, thank you very much for your support. We've hit a good plateau that we can function in the future. We probably couldn't have done without.
Well, thank you for all that you're doing. So thank you very much.
Thank you.